I have a mid 2012 iMac, 21.5 inch I think, and I've got the blemishes in the top right hand corner, as you can see here. So you can see how annoying that is. Well, I'm going to attempt to take the LCD apart and show you as I do it, in order to clean it and have essentially a shiny new Mac again. So first we need to take this, what they call a glass screen off. I don't think it's glass, I think it's some sort of composite. So you need a suction cup. What I use is the suction cup of my sat-nav. I don't have anybody else to hold the camera, so I'm going to have to do it and then show you as I've done it, which I know is not that helpful, but that's the way it is. So that screen is attached with magnetic strips on the inside. Just simply get the top right hand corner, I do, with your suction cup, and just prise it off, pull it off. At the bottom you'll see some hinges. Just take them out and that's it. Lay it somewhere sensible, like on a towel. At this point it may be worth checking that the dust is just only on the inside of that supposed glass. Have a little check, give it a clean. At this point you can still turn your iMac on and see if the blemishes are still there or wherever yours are. If they are on just the inside bit, you're lucky, but we shall continue because mine are deeper. Okay, now we need to loosen these Torx screws down here. I've seen a lot of people say T8, but mine are actually T10. Maybe because it's a newer Mac. I'm going to lay it on its back for this, so I don't release the screws and drop them in, never to be found again. This is what I mean by the machine on its back. So remember, you've got very strong magnets here which hold the front. We'll just call it glass from now on. So as soon as you take these screws out, they're going to be attracted to the magnets, so I suggest you get a pair of tweezers and don't lose any. Happy to report all of the screws are the same size, and then you can prise it up. Now I think I'm going to have to stand the machine up again because there are some ribbon cables to disconnect. So we've got, from what I can see, 3 cables here. Firstly, this one is going to attract your attention, which is just lightly glued to the back. That'll just pull out there. Try and detach them from the board, I would suggest, rather than the back of the panel. Let me get a little screwdriver on there. Be very, very careful with these, unlike me. Anyway, we won't film this bit. So get all of these off however you can. That one attaches there. That one looks like a very easy one to remove. And I'm not sure about that. I'll come back to that in a second. So those two, that top one, small one, that one, wasn't that easy, so be very careful. That one's not bad. This is the one that worries me, but as I get here I see a small tab to pull. Look at that, very fine. And now that one is like that one up there that gave me grief. So I need to disconnect that. I've done it. You need somebody else to hold the screen as you try and wiggle out those little plugs, because they are a nightmare. 2 of them are anyway. So I've got it apart, and as you can see there's a lot of dust, but what we need to do is get this tape off and actually get inside the screen, which we'll do next. While I'm here, obviously I'll clear out all the dust. The dust was around this area on the screen. There's a heatsink there, which I think it's probably got something to do with it. It's drawing air up from here and dust, which is probably pushing dust into the screen somehow through a bad seal. But it's being pulled up to this heatsink, I think. I don't know. But I'm going to give it a good clear out with, well, I think it's about time to say that this is a guide video. If you mess up your machine, you do not hold me responsible at all. I'm not responsible. This is just to show you that it can be done. And I don't even know if it's going to work. I might put it together and it won't work. But this is all done at your own risk. It's not for the faint-hearted, be told. So I've been stuck for a while. These pieces were screwed on the side here. And I knew that there were pinch points underneath. Pry points, I should say. And it turns out, once you've got the screws out, these are further glued on. You need to be really careful getting these off. Don't ever drink the night before. Shaky hands would not be helpful. I didn't. I found it necessary to take this plate off. There's a plate that covers that board there. Once I did that, I was able to get a screwdriver under here to prise that off. But you must make sure the tape is right off to that bit where it, with that steel bit changes shape at the bottom. It's really difficult to do on my own, show you this, but that bit there, make sure there's no tape anywhere holding it on. Either peel it off as I did or cut it, but don't be heavy-handed. Okay, once you've got that frame loosened, it looks like you can take it right off. There's only tape holding it on at the bottom there. I was worried there was going to be something more than what there actually is, but there's nothing there. Now then, we are at the point of, you need to be very, very careful of these. That's what delivers the signal. So now I just need to work out where I can lift the actual screen up. This is the delicate bit. Okay, so the screen comes up that way. I'm not going to attempt to do it one-handed. I found out by lifting using this tab. This side, the only thing stopping it is this piece of tape, and it will come up that way. So I'm going to cut that. That's just tape, I hope. I'm going to put gloves on in a moment before I go any further, but you can see, hopefully, in that top right hand corner, the problem. Looks like a slug has maybe travelled along there. But yeah, this is it. I don't see any reason why you can't lift it up any higher than that, actually, because it's only those connectors at the back. But I'm going to get someone else to hold it while I go underneath and clean next. And there it is. I don't see any reason, as I said before, why you can't open that right out, which is what I've done. This is the screen. Normally, obviously, that is going to be folded that way, and this is where the backlight reflects from. And you can see my problem here. So I'm going to clean it and put it back together. You know, this might seem like a lot of trouble, but it saved me the cost of a new screen, and they're not going to be cheap. It's interesting as well. These screens are actually made by LG. So I have standard glass cleaner with vinegar extracts, streak-free shine, and just normal kitchen towel. I don't see any reason to use anything exotic. All this is some kind of reflective material here that's gonna, I guess you'd call this a diffuser. Ah, there's a spider there. Try and get any annals off of your screen as well for best result. I guess this is a diffuser for the light. So we'll just give that a clean, and also the top part. I'm not sure what they are, but there are little chips in those. They're not going to be the backlights, are they? I don't know. So, give it a nice clean. Note the nice gloves. Yeah, that material doesn't seem like anything to worry about. And then dry. Wax on, wax off. Don't use wax, just use window cleaner, as I've done. That wax on, wax off was a quote from a Karate Kid film, which is only my generation would know of. Please don't use wax in your Mac. Okay, that's it. The panel is sealed again. I've used a combination of insulation or self-amalgamating tape, as some like to call it, and masking tape. I've just used the insulation tape to hold the masking tape down, because that does have a tendency to delaminate, doesn't it, and become unstuck. So that should hold it there and create a good seal. And I will over time let you know how long this lasts, if this ever works again after all this. So I'm at the stage of putting it back together, but before I do that I'm going to give it a blowout. I'm fortunate enough to have an airline. If you're going to use an airline and a compressor, make sure you turn it down, don't use it full. I think I've got it on about, let's have a look, 2.5 bar. Yeah, about 2.5 bar. The other thing is, before you blow these fans out, typical. Before you blow these fans out, put your finger on to stop them spinning. Don't allow the air to spin these, because it'll spin them too quick and possibly break them. But just give it a general clean out. As you can see, none of us smoke. That's general dust from just over a year. You know, it's going to happen in your house, however clean you are. So it's a good idea to clean these out once a year if you can do. A clean mid-2012 iMac ready to be put together. Fingers crossed everything works. When you put this one back in, that clip, pull that tab down whilst holding that to line it up, to put it straight down. And that clip clips into place, and when that happens you know it's right. Carefully put the others in as you go. Again, I'm trying to do it on my own, although I had help for 5 minutes. So, wish me well. Before I put it back together, let's plug it in and see what happens. This is the moment of truth. Will all that cockiness pay off? That looks good to me. Well, that's clearly fine, isn't it? So let's have a look in the offending corner. Nothing. Nothing. It's completely clear. Right, time to put it back together. Obviously it goes without saying I'm chuffed, but again, if anything happens and you mess up your Mac, don't blame Nick. This is only a tutorial. I accept absolutely no responsibility. Well, it wasn't even a tutorial. I just filmed as I did it my way. And I did my research first. If you're going to do it, take care. It can be done. See ya.